Today I'll be doing Beyblade physics on Leoncrest 770 gear needle. And for sample bays, I have its pre-evolution Leon Claw 560 point, and as well as Phoenix Wing 970 rush. So maybe I'll start off with a battle against Leon Claw, shall we? 3, 2, 1, let it rip. So, Leon Claw won that battle. Excuse them, the clock. As you can see, it stayed mostly in the center. Leon Claw moved around a lot more. And that's because these two are actually different types. Leon Claw is a balance type, and Leoncrest is a defense type. Both have 60 height ratchets, and both have ratchets that have the same sides as the same number of sides as the blade, so that they line up well. Maybe I should have waited until the clock's chimed to start the video. I don't know. The bit of Leon Claw is somewhat similar to Leon Claw's bit, but is fairly different. Point is a balance Titan bit, so it specializes in being able to both stay in the center and move around a lot. Gear Point, no, not Gear Point. This is Gear Needle. Is more stationary. It's a defense type bit. I have noticed that, like, the teeth, the gear teeth on it are a little lower than the gear teeth on other bits, but it's still not enough for it to zoom out to the rails like Point can. 760 is a very round ratchet, as you can see, and Leoncrest is very round, and it has a layer of plastic and a layer of metal, so its gimmick is being thick, essentially, like a wall. And you can see, comparing it to Leon Claw, how much thicker it is. Like, it's a very tall blade. And now let's try battling it against Phoenix Wing. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Ring out. So as you can see, even though its gimmick is being a wall, it still has its weaknesses. There's one more weakness I'm hoping I can highlight. Let me try it with an angled launch with Leon Claw. Well, it won that one. Let's try again with Phoenix Wing. There it happened. That's what I want to... That's Leon Claw's biggest weakness in the stock combo, is that Gear Needle, being a defense bit, doesn't have as much burst resistance as attack or balance bits. And even though 760 is round, a lot like 9, you would think that would be good for burst resistance, but actually it's the the walls of 7 go fairly low, which means that it's somewhat susceptible to scraping, and that can, on the low height of 60, that can very easily hit like on the extreme line, and because Gear Needle doesn't have the best burst resistance, if 760 hits the extreme line, then you're going to get bursted. So I think 760, while having potential, is probably the weakest part of Leon Claw's combo. So I would recommend changing it out for anything with better burst resistance. You could do 770 or 560, I'm sure. But my first pick would be 770 because it has the same shape as 760. It can still line up with the Leoncrest's 7 blades while being just tall enough so that there's not as much scrape risk on the extreme line, and you get a little more burst resistance. Spin finish that time. So the other part of this bay, Gear Needle, I do think it's a okay defense bit. I still haven't had a whole lot of testing in it with other combos, but I think to fit the gimmick of Leoncrest being a wall, it might be better to use Dot. Dots has lots of little dots on it to try to increase friction and reduce knockouts, and it doesn't really work that well since you're just going to be in the middle most of the time, like on the middle dot. But it's still a pretty good defense bit as far as stability goes. So for my Leoncrest, I think a good combo seems like 770 Dot. And that demonstrates my point with Dot right away. Even though it's got those dots to add friction, it can still just as easily be extreme finished or get a ring out as most other defense bits. Like, it would be really good if you had like a rubber ball or something. That would really be grippy, but still, I think Dot is on par with like Spike as far as stability goes. Let's do one last battle against Leon Claw again. Well, my combo hasn't won any on camera yet. Maybe I need to demonstrate my point more. Heh. Okay, this combo hasn't won at all on camera yet. Maybe I'll try switching it back to Gear Needle and see if it can win at least 1 point against each of these bays. Let it rip. Well, it got a point there. I suppose another thing with having all the weight on the top of the blade is it has that's gonna give it a somewhat tall center of mass and reduce stability a little bit. I guess that's why it's a defense type and not a stamina type. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Come on. Phoenix. Well, it won there. Well, I guess the gear needle isn't that bad then. Gear needle or dot, whatever you choose. Just change the ratchet, at least. I don't think Leonclaw's that bad. It's definitely an interesting Beyblade. I think that's all there is for now, and thanks for watching.